Hi there! Once you've gotten familiar with the piano rhythm pattern for beginners, you may be interested in building towards some intermediate skills by playing around with the inversions that you use with your chords. A chord's inversions is when you play the same notes of the chord, but you just scramble them up into different order. So for example, a C major chord, which is a C, E, and G, could be inverted so that the C is actually on top, and we could play it this way. This is also a C major chord, it's just in its first inversion. The C major second inversion is when you take the E and move that on top. So the notes G, C, and E are also a C major chord. The reason why it's so great to play around with inversions is because it lets you find more natural hand positions for your song. For example, if I wanted to go from a C chord to an F chord, if I were just to use the C and the F chord in its natural block position, I would start here, then I would move up here, then I would go back down here again. But there's a lot of jumping around with your hand when we do this, and the more we jump around, the greater risk we put ourselves at to make a mistake. We can avoid that by learning a little bit more about chord inversions and being a bit more purposeful in which chord inversions we use. For example, I noticed that the C chord and the F chord both share a note, which is C. So one way that I could play the C chord to an F chord is to play C in its regular root position and F in this inversion. Going from a C in its root position to an F in its inverted position is a much easier and much more secure way of playing the C to F progression. To show you what an impact knowing your chord inversions can have on your playing, I'd like to demonstrate with a short chord progression. I'm going to use the song Lucky by Radiohead, and I will list out the chords that I'm using in the description to this video in case you'd like to try it yourself. The first time I play this through, I'm just going to use the chords in their natural root position. Let's listen to how this sounds, and let's also notice how much movement my hands need to do when I play this way, okay? Okay, now let's try this one more time. And this time I'm going to change the chord inversions that I use, and I'm going to prioritize using inversions that are really close together. So now this time, let's listen to it. Let's hear if we like the sound of the song any better. And let's also notice how much movement I need to do with my hands in order to play the song. All right, what did you think of that? Which version of the song sounded nicer to you? And also, which version of the song do you think felt easier for me to play? I really liked the sound of the second version. When the chords are really close together like that, it just sounds more natural of a chord progression to me. And I can also tell you that I enjoyed playing the second version more because by having those chords really close together, it made me feel less likely like I was going to make a mistake. I didn't have to pay so much attention to where my hands were, and I could just enjoy the music more. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments. And please let me know if you enjoy expanding on the rhythm pattern and if you would like more tips on how to bring this rhythm pattern to more advanced levels. Take care.